and welcome to my first Flosstube video where I'll be showing some whips, some recent finishes and a little bit of crochet. So let's get started. So the first thing I have is, I'm going to put my paperwork, there it is, the Know Your Needleworker tag. So first question, and I'll just do that while I crochet a little bit on Pam's crochet along, which is the infinity scarf. It's gotten quite long already, so I'll just continue on with that. So first question is, where do you live? And I live in Auckland in New Zealand, which I've lived all my life. Second question is, what do you do for a living? And I actually work in retail. I work in a curtain shop. We don't make the curtains in the shop. We sell ready-mades, we do custom made. Yeah, so I really love working there. Any children? So no, not at the moment. We have been trying to have children, but I won't get into that right now. Any pets? So I have one dog and one cat. Dog's name is Ruby. She is about 8.5, and the cat, her name is Amber. We think she's probably about, maybe 4 now. We got her as a stray, so we're not completely sure. Other hobbies. So my other hobbies are crochet, which I taught myself to crochet about 4.5 years ago now, maybe. And I've just made blankets, couple baby blankets, a really big chevron striped blanket for our spare bedroom, which is really fun. Took ages because it was so wide. My other hobby is scrapbooking. So we just went on a family holiday to Rarotonga in October, and I'm just scrapbooking all of those photos now so that I don't leave them for ages and not go back to it, which is something that I always seem to do. Just get things half done and put them aside. And another one is sewing. So I actually do have a certificate in garment technology, which is sewing, and a certificate in pattern making. They were 6-month courses, and then I was a pattern maker for approximately 6 years. And so more recently I've been sewing and making me some project bags. So far I've only made 3, but I have loads of fabric and everything. I just need to get out into my studio and actually make them. So those are my hobbies. So my favourite movies, I love movies like The Breakfast Club, Grease, Labyrinth. Those would probably be my favourite ones. Also like Dirty Dancing. Okay, so favourite TV shows. Love Big Bang Theory and Friends, of course. And I really like Grey's Anatomy. I'm not a person that goes back and re-watches a show like that, or I haven't yet, but I just watch them as they come on TV. I don't go out of my way to watch it or anything. I don't have a favourite book. I don't read a lot. I used to when I was a teenager. I used to read all the time in bed, at night, fall asleep with my book. And then in the morning when I'd wake up, I would read, but I just don't anymore. Favorite music. So, I love old music. Old being 50s, 60s, 70s, some 80s. I grew up and didn't even know what the new songs were that were coming out because my parents listened to the stations that played older music, and so that was the 50s and the 60s music. So my favourite say group out of everyone, out of every singer there is, everything, is the Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys. And there's another question, one word that describes me. So I've actually got two. First one is to people other than my family who don't know me, and they would say I'm quiet, because I am very quiet. And to my family, they would say bossy, 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 because I'm always like, do this, do that, I want this, I want that. So yeah, bossy. So, I don't know if I said before, my name is Elizabeth. I normally go by Liz. I do to people that know me. They call me Liz. I am 34. I'll be 35 next week, the 24th. As I said before, I have a certificate in sewing and a certificate in pattern making. And then before I did those, I did get a diploma in design media. So that was a 2-year course, and that went through everything: furniture, interior, graphics. We did computer work, we did contextual studies, drawing, so it was just a whole mix of everything. So I am married. Got married last year in October, so just married for a year and just over a year. We've been together for nearly 8 years, and we own our own house. So I am the middle child of 3 girls. So my older sister is 2 years older than me. My younger sister is 5 years younger. And another thing is how I got into cross stitching. So my mum taught me to cross stitch when I was a teenager. I don't know exactly how it came about. My mum didn't cross stitch, not that I ever saw, didn't see anything she had done, but I had this kit, and it was of a carousel horse. I actually do have it, but I'd have to get it out, the pattern that is. So she was teaching me on that, but basically she was stitching it and I wasn't. It was a little bit before I really got into it. The first thing I did was, when I was in school, I did some little bookmark thing, but I designed it. I don't know if I have it. If I ever find it, then I'll show it. It's just like, it's a very stylized goldfish with a green background. I don't know if I actually turned it into a bookmark as such, but that's probably one of my first things I did. And so my mum was stitching on that carousel horse, and when we moved house in 2010, I had found the carousel horse that my mum was stitching on. And then I didn't know where the pattern was, and I was like, well, I don't know where the pattern is, so I can't finish it. So I ended up throwing it away. And then a couple years ago I was actually looking through a tub that had a whole lot of my mum's stuff in it, and proceeded to find the pattern in there, and I was so annoyed at myself for actually throwing that cross stitch out that she had been working on for me. But at least I've found the pattern now, so I can restitch that and finish it. So that's one good thing. So yeah, my mum taught me to stitch. I got given a kit for one of my birthdays. I don't know if it was like when I turned 20 or something, by one of my mum's cousins. It was some flying angels. And I just had that sitting around half finished till in 2011, when I was already in my house that I own, and I was going through my stuff and I pulled it out. I was like, oh, I should really finish this. So I finished that, and then I was like, oh, what can I do next? So I went to our local Spotlight, and so I grabbed a kit from there and finished that up. And then in the meantime, I think while I was working on that, I found Heaven and Earth Designs, and then I got into that, and so that's how I got back into stitching. And now I have some about 27 whips on the go. Well, they're not all on the go, obviously, but yeah, 31 minus 4 that I have actually finished recently. So yeah, that's 27. So let's get into it, and I will show you one of my more recent whips that I started. I think I did start it on the 1st of, where is it? The wrong side. Started it on the 1st of August with the SAL that Dena set up, half-stitch, cross-stitch. So that is the Nantucket Rose SAL. So, Nantucket Rose, sorry I'm not going to take it out of the packet. Everyone's seen what it looks like basically. So, Nantucket Rose, and I am working on it on, did I write it down anywhere? Probably didn't. Anyway, it's a 32 count, and I dyed it myself, and it is linen, and I haven't worked on it since probably, yeah, September. So I worked on it in August. I think I might have put it down for a little bit and then picked it back up again. So here is where I am at. So I've done all the trees and just going down the side there, and I have some of the flowers stitched in a part of her basket. Yeah, all of her basket, I think. Right there. So yeah, I really like how that's turning out on the dyed fabric. So that's the first time I've ever dyed fabric, and I basically followed what the Latisha did, the Crafty Curator, how she used the liquid rip dye. So I think I used a grey and a pink to dye that. So really love that one, and it's in one of the second project bag that I made, which looks like this. And it has a black and gold lining on the inside, and then it's got little taggies that has what's in it on it. So it just says Nantucket Rose, Lavender and Lace. Okay, and the next one is going to be what I started on my holiday in Rarotonga. So this year I thought, bugger it, I'm going to bring something to stitch on. So I decided to start, let me find the picture. Leilani the Hula Dancer from Mirabilia. So that was the free chart from, was it last year's Mirabilia retreat thing that was put on. So yeah, that's going to be a memento of like our trips to Rarotonga, because we went and saw some, each time we went and saw a dinner and a show. So that will definitely remind us of that. So I only got a little start in, and I'll fold it over a bit so it's not so see-through. That's all I managed to get done when we were over there. I haven't pulled it back out yet, but I will soon. So it's just mostly the watercolours, I think they are, silks, and then there's a little bit of DMC in there. So I'm actually working on the top page, the first page, so I started at the bottom of that and I'm working my way up. So I'm actually up to doing either beading if I want to fill it in, or start on the skin. So I was probably going to start on the skin. And I'm thinking I may do that 1/1 because I've never done skin 1/1. Although I have worked 1/1 many times because I've done heids, but I haven't done heids on 28 count. Okay, so that is Leilani, the hula dancer, and that is done on a 32 count linen that I dyed myself. I actually tried out the way that Trisha from 3L Threads dyed it using those bottles. So it's very light. It is darker in person than it was showing up on there. But yeah, that's cool. So again, I kind of did it more yellowy at the top, yellowy green, down to blue at the bottom. So that was fun. It was very messy. Got all over the kitchen bench and up the wall. Just as well it wipes off very easily. Okay, so that's that one, and that's a different project bag, done a bit like Vonna's style. So I just did it longer rather than taller, so that it would be of a similar size to this one, which it is. It's just a little bit bigger in depth and width, but that's completely fine. They fit in where I'm keeping them, and then I just did 3 bits of Velcro on it. Yeah. Okay. My dog, she's right down there at the bottom of the tripod. Ruby, do you want to come up? Come here. Come on. Come here. everyone, here's my dog. Her name is Ruby. She's so cute. Hey baby. So I got her when she was just about 3 months old, just shy of 3 months. So I've had her for a very long time. More than 8 years, Rubes? I've known her longer than I've known my husband. Hey, Ruby. So she's just a little doggy. Just a little doggy. So she's I call her just a Jack Russell, but the technical term is a Biche Mole Terrier Spaniel. Her dad was a purebred Jack Russell, and her mum was a mix of a lot of things. Hey Rubes. She did have 3 siblings where I got her from. So I got her from a farm, and the lady was a vet. Before I got out there were two of them left, and when I got there, Ruby was the only one left, and she was the smallest. She was the runt, so I guess no one wanted her, but I did. And what else, Rubes? You wanna go? Yeah. So cute. Okay, you can hop down. Wanna hop down? Hey? Okay, you can stay if you want. Okay, so I've done that and that. Next one will be a finish I'm going to show you. So when did I start? No finishes. So next one is this Sweetheart Tree, Don't Bug Me. So that's it. Yeah, sorry about the glare. So it just says, don't bug me when I'm stitching. And I started that for Stitch Mania 2016, back on the 8th of May. And I finished it on the 3rd of this month. So here is my finish. You gonna hop down? Bye, Rubes. So here's my finish. Oh, upside down, of course. There we go. Don't bug me when I'm stitching. Now that lettering really peeved me off. I'll say. I don't know what I did when I started it, but I had something wrong on the H and something wrong on the W, and I didn't find that out till later. But I managed to get it done, and I really don't like doing French knots on this fabric. Don't know if it's linen or even weave, but yeah, I don't like French knots. They just don't stay, for me anyway. It's got a little ladybug bead thing on there, little bees, ladybug, and then a little Rhodes butterfly, and And then I just signed it down there, so it's quite inconspicuous there. So yeah, that's a finish. And then I plan to finish that like what Danielle Stitcherista is doing with her canvas finishes. So yeah, don't know when I'll get that done. I did buy canvas, but now looking at this, I think the canvas might be way too big. So I have to just go out and pick up another one that's a bit smaller. So again, that was Don't Bug Me by the Sweetheart Tree. Next on my list is going to be my next finish. So, I'll show you what it is. It is called Summer Still Life, and it's by Permin, and it's actually out of the Cross Stitch Collection June 2015 magazine, although I got it online through my library, Auckland City Libraries, and that's what it looks like when it's done. And I finished it. So I actually started it for Stitch Mania this year. So let me just look at my little card here. I started it on the 15th of May. So I only did 4 projects for Stitch Mania this year, and I started them on the first 4 Mondays. Yeah. So this was the third one that I started. Third one. And I just finished it on the 13th of this month, November. And this is it here. Super cute. Love the colours. So I first saw this on Jessie Marie Does Stuff's video quite a long time ago and loved it. And then when it came up in the magazine online, I grabbed it, printed it off, put it in my folder, and I signed it down there in that corner. It says EMC 2017. So it's done like a actual sort of signature. So it has a lot of back stitching on this chart, but it's pretty easy to handle really. Nothing too complicated. In all, it probably took me less than 20 stitching days. I don't count the days. I just write down when I start and when I finish. And yeah, it wasn't too complicated. Yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to finish that one yet, whether I'm going to get it framed or do some sort of a flat fold that'll hang on the wall. Yeah, I'm not too sure yet, but I love that one. Okie dokie. I have one more that I'm working on, and I'm working on it right now, so I'm not going to take it off. I do have photos on my Instagram if you want to go and see it. If you want to see what the rest of it looks like, I would go back to, let me just pull it up. go back to the last time I posted a full progress was the 25th of June. So you don't have to go too far back because I don't post every day on there. So if you want to find me on Instagram, I'm just EMDouglas1982. Pretty easy. So it is Save the Stitches, freebie pattern from Blackwork Journey, Elizabeth Almond. So I'm actually working, well, last night I finished block 13, so then I'm just gonna move on to block 14 there. So I'll bring it in closer. So that's it there. So I'm actually using all the called for materials, I believe. I did start this one a really long time ago. I think it was today, being November 16, 2 years ago. That was actually the day that I found out I had my first miscarriage. We went for a scan and they said, no, you've miscarried. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to be sitting here. I want to start something, so I started. I saved the stitches. Really love this design. Once you get into it and get working on it, it doesn't take too long. I started this block, what's today? Thursday. Tuesday evening. Did the outlining, did that block there, did this one, I believe. I might have had to finish that yesterday and then finish all of that and then do the metallic. So yeah, I finished it up last night. And if you're wondering, the needle minders come from Nifty Needle Nannies on Facebook. That's just the shorter leaf in the white and then the jeweled butterfly. Yeah. So, love working on this one. I'm always thinking, oh, I should get that out and work on it, and then I don't, I get something else out, and then I'm still in my mind to work on it, so I hope I can finish that up soon. So I'm just over halfway, if anyone's wondering. There's 24 blocks, so I've just done number 13. Yeah, so I'll be working on that today, and I also have a project bag that I made for it, which is the first one I did. So that's it there. Got that little bit of trim, black contrasting fabric there, just a simple lining and flower on the back. Has its little taggy on the side and says Save the Stitches. Okay, so that's where that one lives, and that's my second ball of what's it called again? Pearl cotton, which I don't think I'm going to need, just like Ingeborg from A Stitch Too Far said. You don't really need it. I've still got heaps left on my ball I'm using now, which looks like that. So I really don't think I'm going to need the second one at all. Okay, so now I've got one that I started on the 25th of July and finished it on the 17th of September. Now this one is a gift for my sister's birthday, and it's actually her birthday today. So she's not getting this gift today. She's going to get it on Saturday at her party. So she's turning 30. And I'll show you what I did for her. Now she collects these. I'm just going to leave the corner bits on. So I'll show you what it is. It is a Dreamcatcher. Done on a, what did I do it on? Let me just grab the card out. Okay, so I did it on a 28 count opal linen in the colourway Polywog Princess by Stephanie's Fabrics, Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. That I got off Facebook from someone in New Zealand. So this is the finish, and I'll tell you what the pattern is and where it was from in a second. And I just signed it down there with my little signature. So I decided to go no matting on it, no mat, and just have more fabric showing all the way around, just because my sister really liked that fabric when she saw it, when I showed it to her. She doesn't know that I've stitched this for her at all. I haven't even posted it on Instagram, so I will be posting it on Instagram after she's gotten it as her gift. Okay, so that one. So it came out of a magazine, and it came out of the World of Cross Stitching magazine, issue 224. So there it is on that side there. And that's what it looks like in there. They've done it as a little wall hanging thing, tassel at the bottom. But yeah, so that one was fun to stitch on that sparkly hand-dyed fabric. So anything else to say about it? No, it was all done in DMC. It was done 2/2. I didn't make any changes to it except to change the fabric, and stitched for my sister. So hope she likes that one, which I'm sure she will because she loves Dreamcatchers. Okay, so just about at the end, I just wanted to do something that I want to do the end of every video, if I can. So the first thing is, I keep so much of my old stuff. I've got old toys from when we were little, and things that I've collected, collections and stuff. So I'm just going to show a few of my old little toys here. Let me grab them. Okay, so I have these little things. Glue Friends. Loved the movie back in the 80s. We had it taped on from off TV and watched it all the time. So this is Glowbug. And that was my one. Glowbug. Just put him up to the light and he lights up. And then here's the spider one. This one belonged to my older sister. She's not sentimental or anything, so she doesn't hold on to a lot of things. So, got 2 of those. Super cute. They still light up too if you hold them up to the light and turn the light off. I got this, I'm not sure exactly what it is, what it's from, I can't remember, but it still smells exactly like it did when I got it. Exactly. So nice. Don't know what the smell is, but it's really nice. Okay, so transformer. So that's my little car that I had when I was little. Pull it back and then it goes, and then it transforms. Here we go. Now he's a robot or whatever. Transformer, I should say. Yeah. So that was my one. Still complete with all its little rubber wheels and everything. Got a discoloration on the hood of the car. Yeah. And then I've got my one that belonged to my older sister. That one's lost the 2 front wheel bits. And that one opens up as well. There we go. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Or is it Transformers, robots in disguise? I don't know. I wasn't that into Transformers and all of that, but yeah, we had those. Super cool. There we go, now it's a truck. So yeah, that's a few little items there. And another thing that I want to show is stuff that my mum made. So, my mum died in 2006 in November. She did have cancer, but it was actually an infection that got her. So she was a really creative person and made loads of things, and so I just wanted to share something off each episode. So this is the first one, and it's a wall hanging, but it's also a game, and we used to play it all the time. It just hangs in my hallway now. So it is Ludo game board. There we go. Oh, dog's decided to bark at nothing. Ruby, shush. Shush. Okay, so basically it's all like sewn on top. She's done the edging and has zigzagged it and put these little loops on so it can be hung up. We used to play this all the time. Get it down off the wall, have a game, put it back up. It's so cool. It's one of the best things ever. Especially when you're a kid. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, that hangs in our hallway. And I love it. I think I've only played it once though since I've been in this house, because my husband doesn't really play a lot of board games and stuff. He's just not that into that. But anyway, yeah, so I have a lot more to show of things my mum made, so they will be coming up on future videos, and of course other little things that I have. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's it for my first video. That wasn't as scary as I thought. So, having braces in less than a couple of weeks, so that'll be very different, but looking forward to it. Yeah, so I guess I'll say see you next time.